All right, go ahead.
All right, big win on Wednesday night. Your program definitely benefits from that.
Yep, Wednesday was Wednesday. Today's Friday and tomorrow's Saturday. So, I always say this all the time. That one game doesn't have anything to do with the next. One result has nothing to do with another result. Each game is unique because of the matchups. That's college sports. Really, I think that's all sports. Matchups are everything. So Saturday's matchup for us is unique in that most teams against us try to get back on defense, take their time on offense, handle our pressure. So this is the first time other than the times we play Louisville, where we got another team that's going to try to pressure us and be on the attack. So our guys like playing these kind of games because usually, like I said, teams are trying to slow us down and send people back on defense and try to slow the game down. We get a bad rap. People try to say that we don't play fast and we're trying to run at all costs all the time and always have. But so it'll be a great game for the fans tomorrow because it's going to be an up and down affair.
These guys are known for stealing, getting a lot of steals. Is that their strength defensively?
Yeah, because they don't deviate from their style, game to game. Some people with their pressure are maybe more scouting report based. They pretty much are who they are. So they're coming after you. They're attacking the ball, and if you handle it, you'll be in good shape. If you don't, you won't. But the thing about their style of play that I love is when you're able to press, you're never out of the game. Mm-hmm. So a 10-point lead with anything over 2 minutes to play is not safe. I've seen them watching. That's all I do during the season is watch basketball. In the last 3 or 4 years, I've seen them down 8 and tie games quickly within a minute. So their kids never believe, or they never think they're out of it, and they recruit to their style. So they got athletes. They don't play tired players. So I think that it makes them dangerous as the game goes on. Our bench. Hopefully, the strength that we play 10 guys will help us.
So that's probably the same as you. I mean, you feel you're never out of a game either because of your press, right?
Exactly. We do things differently. Obviously, for us, we're a little bit bigger than they are, especially this year. You never. It's one thing about the beauty of being a team that can press. You never feel like you're out of it. You're always you're always a 2-minute run away from catching a team from 10 down.
You mentioned having a bad rap as being a team that didn't run.
Yeah.
You're also your reputation is pretty much nationally. I think you would agree as a defensive team and a hard-nosed, tough team. Do you like that reputation?
Well, I think so. I think people are lazy in the media, to be honest with you. And
you're looking at me when you say that.
I look at it. I don't mean that disparagingly. I think there's too many things going on. And I think people don't take time to find out the truth. So, like for instance, 3 years ago when Kyle Curick was a senior at Louisville and they went to the Final Four, nobody said, well, Rick Pitino's holding the ball. They couldn't score. They couldn't score. Peyton Siva couldn't score. Gorgie Dang couldn't score. They had multiple guys on that team that couldn't score. They went to the Final Four, playing with a tenacious press and a matchup zone. But nobody came out and said, "Well, Rick Pitino doesn't run." So and I think a lot of that stuff is just people just go with whatever is the predominant thought.
So it's a label.
And whatever is the easiest label to slap on a team. And then never change it. Never take the time to actually watch what's going on.
So you don't buy that?
Well, I don't buy it for any of us.
Part of it's a compliment, though.
Oh, yeah, but it doesn't mean it's right, is my point.
Doesn't mean
I could care less about compliments.
It doesn't mean it's your...
I say it all the time. My only person I'm concerned about their opinion of me is Sammy.
Yeah. I mean,
So whether it's negative or positive, I don't care. I'm just talking about would be accurate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think, I don't think a lot of people don't take time to find out accuracy.
You're saying that doesn't tell the whole story?
Yeah, like Wisconsin, people say, say they want to pigeonhole Wisconsin. And there's years that they're a great scoring team. Like this year's Wisconsin team can put up some serious points on you. It's personnel driven. It's different year from year. So my point would be but people just want to slap a label on something and say, well, this is how they do it. This is what they do. And it's not. It changes year to year. I mean, it's I don't know what year John Calipari's in Kentucky, but at some point people were going to have to stop talking about his great dribble drive offense when they didn't run it. They ran it at Memphis, and it was great, and it worked. It worked great. And they should have won the national championship, but they don't run it at Kentucky. At some point, they played 2 years with him not running it, and everybody kept talking about it because nobody actually took time to watch the game and say, "Oh, we're wrong. He doesn't run that." And he's not going to tell you because he doesn't want to tell you what he is running. He's not looking to help his opponent. You want to say that we're doing something we're not. What's he care? I mean, so I just don't think people watch in sports. I do it for a living, so I watch everybody. And like people would say, well, Temple zone in John Chaney's era. Well, I scouted them. They played 3 different types of zone. So like to watch us and say that we don't run is comical. When everybody we play tries to slow us down. You don't turn it over, box out, get back on defense. They fax it around. Those are the 3 keys to beating Cincinnati. It's not saying, oh, well, hey, it's never faxed around. Well, they're going to slow it down on you. But that gets perpetuated.
But the important thing is, no matter how you play, if you have to win with defense, then you win with defense, right? It's just how. Yeah,
that's what I was telling you. Games are different. Each game is unique because of how your opponent's going to play. Louisville beat Cleveland State 47-33 this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cleveland State held the ball as long as they could to give themselves a chance to win. Yeah. He could have went in there and got beat 90-50. Gary Waters is a veteran, and he's too smart for that. So did all of a sudden Louisville became a non-running, non-pressing team? It's your opponent and the uniqueness of each game to game. Like Seton Hall scored 89 last night on South Florida. Well, South Florida's running and shooting early in the clock. They didn't used to. They got a new coach. So it depends. Tomorrow, VCU, they're coming in and they're pressing and they're running. Period. That's what they do. And they don't deviate from it. That's their style.
But you do take pride in the defense that's played here and has been since you've been here, I think.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we hold the ball, is my point.
Right, yeah. But I'm just not necessarily.
Well, what people will say is people try to hurt you in recruiting, and they say things like that you play slow. No, we just don't let the other team score easily. And last time I checked, that's what you probably should do as an opponent in any sport, not let the team just score easily. So if it takes them 30 seconds to get off a good shot,
when you hear that people say
that doesn't mean we're holding the ball.
You're a better defensive coach than offensive coach. Well, how do you respond to that?
I really don't respond.
What do you think about that?
I think that I would eliminate myself from the equation, and I would say that let's look at any other coach and tell you that his players dictate how good of a coach he is. And as I said this all year last year, we won 15 in a row, and I kept telling you it wasn't me. I kept saying it's not me. I wasn't any different. I had some veteran soldiers that knew how to win games, and they wanted to win, and they could get it done. So it wasn't. I didn't become different. And you just got to look at the longevity of guys. It's amazing, though, in our profession how you get smarter when the ball goes in. You get smarter when the ball goes into basketball.
And when it doesn't, they say you can't recruit players who can score.
Or you don't know how to coach zone offense or whatever, whatever the case may be. So I'm oblivious to it all. I just try to worry about getting the team better every day.
The bottom line is, anyways, winning games.
Well, yeah, who cares how you win? But my point is, it's easy to just take a quick brush and say, this program this program that. It'd be unfair to say that VCU they just run around and press. No, he's an excellent coach, It's very hard to teach what they do and to get the kids to buy into it. And they change what they do. They don't just press one way. They have multiple presses. They have multiple reads and calls and things that they do. You couldn't survive playing their style just doing it one way. So I think like it would be unfair for people to just say, well, this is his system. It's intricate.
So will your players look forward to this game more than maybe another game because of that style?
Probably would think so, but until they start getting pressed, you just think, oh, they're not just going to let us run down and dunk the ball, So, but you would hope that, I want them to embrace it. You want them to embrace it and say, hey, this is going to be fun if we embrace it. But the minute you rest and you don't come to the ball, the minute you throw a one-hand pass, the minute you over dribble, the minute you mentally let down is when they're going to get you. Because the thing about him, he's been there long enough where Shock has been able to recruit to the style he plays. So they have great recovery speed. All their guys are fast. All their guys have trained in their system.
Well, when you recruit, do you recruit guys to defensive players?
Yeah, I just recruit all guys that play defense.
No, but I mean guys who can play their defense. That's what.
No, we try to get the best players we can get.
Coach, I remember in the beginning of the season, before Game 1, you said that the biggest challenge would be getting your guys to play better defense. How do you think that they have improved throughout?
They're doing a good job, but the other thing I said was we're going to have to play differently than we did last year. Because of our inexperience and our size, we weren't going to be able to get it done defensively the way we did last year from a strategy standpoint. So our defense is totally different schematically than it was a year ago, and the guys have done a great job with that. But I still think because of that, we're still learning, we're still teaching, and we're still adjusting as we go. I think we can continue to get better. I really do. Even though you look at our numbers are pretty strong. The last two games, you hold two teams that were preseason top 20 to 44 and 50-something in regulation.
10th in the country, I think, in points, scoring defense.
So, but I really think we can get better. I think you have to because it only gets harder as the year goes on.
What is it about their pressure that's different? Is it that they just don't stop? Like teams will come out of the press at half court?
The biggest difference is they don't. That's 100% it. They don't stop, and they change it. They change it, and their kids are recruited to it, and they're bought into it, and they're relentless.
Is it tough to get guys to understand that when you get across half court, you tend to think
that it's over,
and that it's not over for them at all?
Yeah, that's probably that, and just to stay mentally engaged. You got to do everything with two hands, and you got to do everything under control. The minute that you mentally take a breather is when you're in trouble. Once you think, okay, it's over, I'm good. That's somebody's going to strip the ball from you.
How do you think Coriante DeBerry is developing?
I thought he did great. Last game, we would not have beat San Diego State without him. He gave us some big baskets. Defensively, he and Quadri are still learning, and that's going to get them. We need them to get better because the more they play offense, the better they're going to get. The offense, you just need minutes. The more minutes you get, the more comfortable you get, the more relaxed you get when you're playing offense. Kids get out there, they get nervous. I showed Quadri the other night. He rushed 2 shots. He was a great shooter. He airballed 2. You saw Corey starting to get comfortable offensively. But defensively is where he's got to continue to improve. Because for us, that's what we try not to give you any layups, and he's the guy protecting. Whoever's playing in front of the rim is the guy that's got to make sure he's protecting the rim. But he's getting better, and it's huge for our team. It's huge for our team. We would not have won the other night if he wouldn't have came in and gave us the punch that he gave us.
Everybody healthy?
I think so, day by day. We'll see in a second. With the flu season, you guys wake up.
Coach, somebody made mention at the town hall the other night how you have stayed through
a number of presidents, a number of athletic directors,
Number of reporters too.
and a number of reporters too. And outside of the weather, what is it that keeps you showing up and excited about this Cincinnati basketball program?
For me, I look at it as really more than just a job. So I'm fortunate to have the job I have. Some people, the grass is always greener for them. We play VCU tomorrow, and Shaka's turned down just as many or more jobs than I have in the last 3 years. It's not all about dollars. The other thing is, you're never going to build anything if you don't stay. Connecticut became Connecticut because Jim Calhoun stayed for 20-something years. Syracuse became Syracuse because Coach Bennett stayed. The more you stay, the more you're able to sustain success. The more you're going to be able to get arenas done, locker rooms done, practice gyms, what have you, build tradition. So I think you look at certain places, I think the continuity is the key. Even Coach Huggins, when he stayed here 16 years, if he would have left after the Final Four in '92, what would have happened? Who knows? Because the program was still gaining national attention. He ended up staying 14 more years, 13 more years. So, but for me, it's it's lifestyle, family, friends. Those are my choices.
The game the other night, there was a mention by Troy in the press conference where he said Coach had a good game as well. And
He's right.
He
We
described
had bad ones as well too.
He described a change that you made on the huddle because they were, I think, maybe interrupting some of the handoffs at the top of the key. Can you describe what change you made to kind of coach around to get the offense started?
I'd rather go for strategic sake. But that goes on in every game. And I think what I would say is a big thing is you can make a lot of changes as a coach, but the key is being able to communicate with your players, especially the guys with the ball in the line. It's really important that those guys, especially on offense, because they're initiating the offense, they're making the plays, they're quarterback, so to speak, out there, that you're able to communicate with them and back and forth, how they're being played, how to help them so they can make the play. San Diego State, they do some different things, but now it's going to be different tomorrow. So the coaches, we make adjustments all the time. They only work if the players are able to absorb and apply. We make them all the time. And then people sit in the stands and they say, well, why don't you do this? Well, he told them to. You're dealing with kid pros sometimes. And the kids did a great job in San Diego State. We had to make a few adjustments because of their defense, and they were able to do it. We went away from something we do a lot, and we made a change to something else. In practice, it worked really well for us in the game. That's not always the case. It's not always the case, but the guys did an excellent job. That's why I tell them that's important, because you gotta play situational basketball in offense. If they say, hey, we're taking this away from you, you got to be able to do something else. You can't be hard-headed about it as a coach. And the kids got to know, hey, he's right. They're taking this away, but we can do this. If they're taking this away, we can do that. So one thing about our team, we're inexperienced, but we got some smart guys on the team that they understand. And you explain those things, it just makes it easier for them. It's not even close. It's completely out of respect. He's one of the great characters of our city. Let's put it that way. He's the best. You got it.